Okay, hi guys, good morning, welcome. We're going to focus on side body, outer and inner thighs today in our Pilates practice. We'll use a strap, or you could use like a belt, or like a belt, like from a bathrobe or something like that, that you could tie like in a knot, something you can connect and have something that is kind of solid that you can push out against. So I have a yoga strap that I have looped. This is going to take the place of a magic circle. And we're going to use this in our practice today, as well as a block, okay? So we're going to focus on the side body and the outer and inner thigh a little more today. We'll start with the classic warm-up. We'll start by lying down on our back, arms alongside the body, knees bent, feet on the floor. Hold the belly in and press the low back into the floor. And then reverse the curve, go into an arch. So there's some space between your low back and the floor. And exhale, press. And inhale, arch. And exhale, press, and inhale, arch, and exhale, press. And let's go ahead and from here, we're going to use a yoga block, if you have one, or a pillow, or another kind of something you can use as your prop. So belly pulling in, and we're going to start by having the block underneath our head like a pillow. And we're going to use that strap that we have kind of a loop in. And for our hundreds today, we're going to put our feet through the middle of the strap, and with the feet parallel, legs parallel, you're going to press out. So you're going to feel activation along the outer line of your legs and thighs as you do that pressing out. Now let's hold on to the hamstrings. Let's inhale. As we exhale, we'll nod the head once to curl the head, neck, and shoulder blades up off of our block. Inhale here. Now exhale, deflate the abs. See them move down. Send up. Keep those abs pulling in, and you're pressing your low back into the floor. Let's go ahead and reach the arms long. Start to pump the arms. Inhale into the back of the lungs. 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3. Pressing out with the legs. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Low back pressing into the floor. 4, 5, and low back stays pressing. If you need some more challenge, you're going to lengthen the legs away from you on an angle. All right, we're going to do a couple more rounds of these. 3, 4, 5, and pressing out. 3, halfway there, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 3 more sets, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Belly stays in the whole time as you breathe. Imagine breathing into the back of the lungs so the upper body stays buoyant. And then let's go ahead and gently release, and we can bring our head back down. Now, at any point, you always feel free to just put your head down on the support if you feel any tension or strain in the neck, okay? Let's go ahead and take our prop away now. We said we would focus on side body, outer and inner thighs. Let's start with the feet wide. I'm going to do cactus-shaped arms, so L shapes with the arms. And we're going to let one knee go to the side, other knee follows. So a little mild twist and another movement to the other side. So windshield wiper movement here, little mild twist. A couple more times like that. Let the breath be nice and full. So we're just kind of got our warm up happening here with the hundreds and a little mild rotation in the spine. Let's now lengthen the legs long. Hold on to 2 fingers of one hand with the other. Stretch long through the arms and legs. Flex the feet. And we're going to do hip walks. So make your right leg long and your left leg short. You're really shortening the side waist on one side as you lengthen the other, and then switch and switch and switch. So imagine your sacrum, that triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine, is on a lazy Susan, and you could swivel. Do a couple more like that. Just breathing through here. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay. All right, from here, let's go ahead and bring the arms alongside the body again. Then we're going to use that block, right? If I can find it. There it is. Or pillow, whatever prop you have. And we're just going to squeeze it. Let's actually, if you have a block, we'll put it on the wide level. So normally I would, again, use a magic circle. Maybe you have a magic circle at home. So you're going to squeeze in. Keep your torso pretty steady, right? So let's engage our deep core muscles right here for a moment. So pelvic floor, diamond-shaped group of muscles between the sitting bones, the pubic bone, and the tailbone, right at the base of the torso, pulling in and up towards your head. So pelvic floor 1, transverse abdominals, your skinny middle number 2, and long spine. Get tall, arms alongside the body, and we're going to squeeze that block. Squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, and just lighten up on the squeeze. If you let go altogether, it will fall to the floor, but we're just going to lighten up a little bit. And then again, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, and release. And this is 3, 2, 3, 4, and release. We'll do 8 altogether. And this is 4, 2, 3, 4, and release. And this is 5, 2, 3, 4, and release. And this is 6, 2, 3, 4, and release. This is 7, 2, 3, 4, release. We have 1 left to go. Give it a good squeeze. 2, 3, 4, and release, and let's let that go. Okay, so we're going to do a couple exercises here that are going to be, so we did a little bit of inner thigh already. We're going to do a couple more in a row that are going to really work the inner thigh. We said today we would focus on side body, outer, and inner thigh. So we're going to go ahead, and from here, we're going to lengthen the legs up toward the ceiling, flex the feet, and we're going to do 3 in a row here. We're going to go ahead and separate the feet as wide to the sides as you can go, all the way as far as you can go. And really simply bring the feet back up together. Pretty slow tempo on here. I want you to meanwhile work that Pilates body, that active, energized torso. Feel the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominals, the length, the deep spinal muscles are called the multifidi, one group of them. Right, Bob? Right? Bob's smiling at us. Okay, so we're going to reach a couple more times. And just simple, super simple. Now, if your hamstrings are a little on the tight side, you won't be able to lengthen your legs straight up toward the ceiling, so have your knees bent instead. But we'll still address the inner thighs regardless. If you're flexible, then legs straight will be fine. Let's do one more time like this. Here we go, reaching. Okay, that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, pull the belly in and press the low back into the floor. We'll bring the hands to cradle the head and come into your upper body alignment. So we're going to nod the head once to curl the head, neck, and shoulder blades up off the floor, keeping a fist distance of space between your chin and your chest. And for the flat parts of your shoulder blades to reach toward your thighs. Now legs up, laterally rotate the thigh bones from the hip sockets. Low back pressing into the floor, and then legs on an angle. We're going to open and close. Here we go. Close and 8 more. We have 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And bend and release and rest. Now hands come just barely under the edge of your seat. Legs up and flex the feet. Now we're going to separate the feet as wide to the sides as you go. And now laterally rotate the thigh bones from the hip sockets. Press through the heels to straighten those legs a little further. And then we're going to lift the feet toward the ceiling just 1/2 inch. Okay? And then again, press through the heels to lengthen a little bit longer through the legs, and then 1/2 inch lift. And again, press through the heels, 1/2 inch lift, and press 1/2 inch lift, and press 1/2 inch lift, and press 1/2 inch lift, press 1/2 inch lift. And press 1/2 inch lift again. Press a couple more times, right? Energizing long through the legs every moment in between the feet coming closer to each other. And once you get all the way together, I want you to squeeze those inner thighs together. Squeeze, 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 and release. We're going to do that 2 more times. Here we go. Flex the feet, separate, laterally rotate, press through the heels, 1/2 inch lift. And again, press, 1/2 inch lift. That's it, you guys. Good. Every time I do this exercise, I like to give credit where credit is due. So I learned this when I went to my teacher training at the Kane School. And one of the teacher trainers, her name was Kwan, or one of the master teachers at the time. We got to observe the master teacher's teaching. And I remember learning this exercise from Kwan. So Kwan, little firecracker, like little petite Kwan, but she could crack the whip. And by now, if you're feeling this exercise, then we're thanking Kwan for this exercise because it is a super duper strong exercise. Now, when I learned it, she was doing it on the reformer, right? So you had your feet in the straps, and you had a little bit of a different feel to it, but it's still a pretty darn good exercise in the mat variation here. So thank you, Kwan, for this nice, active, strong energy for the inner thighs. Right? You should really be feeling it right by now, okay? Pressing and lengthening 1/2 inch at a time, just slowly, slowly, gradually. So you're strengthening along the full range of motion that you have, right? And then squeeze, 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 and release. Okay, so a couple of exercises there for the inner thighs. All right, so let's go a little bit into the classic Pilates 5. We'll take your block again underneath your head like a pillow. And we're going to come into tight ball shape, hands to ankles, navel to spine, nose to knees, left leg in, right leg long and away from you, outside hand to your ankle. Now exhale, switch and hold. Now 16, here we go. And switch, and switch, and 8 more. We have 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 3 and 2 and 1, and pause and rest. Big breath in. And as you exhale, come right away back into tight ball shape. This time we're going to get ready for double leg extension. So we just finished single leg extension. Now double leg extension, I like to do the first 2 with just the arms. So inhaling here, belly pulls in strongly as you reach your arms by your ears. And then we circle the arms and bring the hands to the ankles. Inhale, belly pulls in, and exhale, circle the close. Now your belly's got to pull in even stronger as we reach the legs long as well. And exhale, circle to close. And inhale, reach. Exhale, circle to close. Let's do a few more like this. Low back, pressing into the floor. Don't let it lift. And circle to close. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. Reach and close. And reach and close and pause. Okay, so far we've done single leg extension, okay? Double leg extension. Okay, so let's do classic lower lift, okay? So hands to cradle the head, legs up, laterally rotated. Upper body is in your upper body alignment. And we're going to lower the legs on an angle and then lift back up. Okay, so we're going to inhale as we lower, exhale as we lift. Inhale, breathe into the back of the lungs. Feel like if you had a balloon under each shoulder blade, they would be inflating. Like you can kind of visualize that a little bit. Or you can visualize the lungs inflating as you inhale, as you lower, and helps keep the upper body a little bit more buoyant. And as you exhale, you're deflating the abs as you lift up. So visualize a big brass cowboy belt buckle. That's the spot you're deflating as you lift. And then let's pause and rest. Okay, so single leg extension, double leg extension, lower lift. We did so far. Now we're going to do scissors. Let's go tight ball shape. Right leg up, hold on to it with both hands. And then left leg long. Energize your legs. Let's do a double pulse and switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. And we have 8 and a 7 and a 6 and a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1, and pause and rest. That's scissors. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. We're going to come into Criss Cross. Let's do tight ball shape, left leg in, right leg long and away. This time hands come back to cradle the head, right elbow crosses towards your left knee. Exhale, switch and hold. Now 16. Here we go. And 8 more. We have 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and pause and rest. Big breath in and big breath out. So just to recap, we did single leg extension, double leg extension. We did classic lower lift, right? Scissors, right? And Criss Cross, right? The Pilates 5, really classic series. I love that series because you could just kind of take it with you anywhere you go. All right, let's go ahead from here. Before we come up to standing, we'll do a little bit of backward bending just to round things out. And I know we're focusing on the side body, outer and inner thighs a little bit more today, but we'll do a little bit of back bending while we're at it, okay? So let's just do classic Pilates backward bending. Let's start with the forearms on the floor, lengthening the spine. Lift your belly button up off the floor, but the tops of your thighs stay down. And we'll do right heel, those double pulse into the buttocks. We go in, and down. Now left and in, and down. We go point, flex, down, and down again. Point, flex, down, and point, flex, down. One more time each side. Last one. Now come down, turn your head to one side, hands to the small of the back. Hold on to 2 fingers in one hand with the other. Let the elbows fall toward the floor. Belly firm, hips pressed, and let's go both heels double pulse. Coming in, and down. Again, in, and down. 2 more. In, and down. 1 more. In, legs down, center the head, squeeze the elbows straight. Look about a foot in front of you on the floor, not directly forward so that's not too much of a fold in the neck. And then come down, turn your head to the other side. I'll turn mine forward just so I can feel connected to you guys. And we're going to do the same thing. In, and down. Again. In, and down. 2 more. In, and down. 1 more. In, legs down. Come into your back bend. As you inhale, come up higher. And exhale, come down and rest. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Okay. Now we're going to come onto our side. We're going to do some side body work. We said we're working on the side body. So we'll start with one hand in front of your belly button and energize your legs. You'll flex your feet. Have your legs be directly away from you to start, not piked forward just yet. So we're going to have the legs be directly away from us. Top hand in front of your belly button and flexing the feet. If you need some padding, you can make sure you have some padding underneath you so that your hips can be supported. There's some bones that are kind of close to the surface there. So a little padding is nice if you like. And we're going to go ahead and lift both legs up. 8 and down, and 7 and a 6 and a 5. This is 4 and a 3 and a 2. Stay up on 1. Pike the legs forward, lower them down. Top leg lifts for pendulum. We're going to do double pulse to the front. Point and one long sweep far back. And exhale, front, inhale, back. Now you're trying to keep your torso super steady. So work those deep core muscles as you're working on this leg movement to steady the torso and move right from the hip socket. Let's do 2 more with this leg reaching. As you reach back, reach far back, but don't move the torso, so you're going to feel the back of the thigh work. Now, leg directly away from you again. We're going to flex to lift and point to lower, and flex and point, and flex and point, point and flex and point, flex and point, and flex and point. 2 more. 1 more. Now point, laterally rotate the thigh bone from the hip socket. Let's do a small circle. I like to think of this circle being like about the size of a cantaloupe. Let's reverse the direction. That's it, guys. Good. And then flex the foot, toes touch down, and then heel touches down. And toes and heels, and toes and heels, and toes and heels, toes and heels, and toes and heels, and toes and heels. 2 more, and 1 more. Now we're going to lift that leg up and bring the bottom leg underneath it. And now we go bottom to top. We lift and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8 more. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top leg bends, sole of the foot comes down in front of you. Bottom leg goes flex, laterally rotates, and lift, lift, lift that leg up, up, up. We come down and we go lift and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Keep breathing. 8 and 7 and 6. Lead with the heel. 3, 2, 1. Point, small circle. And then reverse it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to bend the knees, stack the legs up for clamshell. Knees together, toes apart. Now toes together, knees apart. And knees and toes, 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 knees and toes. 2 more. 1 more. And top knee to shoulder, lengthen the leg up. Bottom leg goes long. Energize your legs, energize your spine. And let's reach all the way out. Let's go parallel swim for 20. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now laterally rotate, heel beats, inner thighs working close, 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 close. And rest. Okay, now we're going to do the same series on the second side. So you can stay facing forward, just move your head to the other side of your mat. Bottom hand underneath your head. Top hand in front of your belly button. Energize your legs directly away from you, belly firm. Hold torso steady, right? Now flexing the feet, both legs lift up on 8 and down, and 7, and a 6, and a 5. This is 4, and a 3, and a 2. Stay up on 1, pike the legs forward, lower them down, top leg lifts for pendulum. Double pulse to the front, and then point. 1 long sweep. Feel the back of the thigh working. And 2, and reach back. And 3, and reach back, and 4, and reach back, and 5, and reach back, and 6, and reach back, and 7, and reach back. 1 more, and 8, and reach back. Now directly away from you with that leg, flex to lift, point to lower, and flex and point, and flex and point, and flex and point, and flex and point, flex and point, and flex and point. 2 more. 1 more point, laterally rotate. Let's do a small circle, breathing. 5, 6, reverse the direction of the circle. That's it, guys, good. Now flex the foot, toes touch down, and then heel touches down, and toes and heels, and toes and heels, and toes and heels, and toes and heels, toes and heels, and toes and heels. 2 more. 1 more. Now lift that leg, bring the bottom leg underneath, and we go bottom to top. We lift and 2 and 3 and 4, 6 and 7, 8 more. We have 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, good. Take the top foot, bring the foot, sole of the foot down. We're going to flex and laterally rotate. So you lead with the inner thigh as you lift, lift, lift. And we go 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, working in the inner thigh. We have 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now point. Again, small circle, moving from that hip socket. And then reverse the direction. Keep breathing. Now stack the legs up for clamshell. The bottom leg just stays down. It's all about the top leg here. So knees together, toes apart. Lift that foot up high. And then toes together, knees apart. And knees and toes, and knees and toes, and knees and toes, and knees and toes, knees and toes, and knees and toes. 2 more and 1 more. Now top knee to shoulder, lengthen the leg up. Bottom leg goes long. Energize your legs, energize your spine, and let's reach all the way down. Let's go parallel swim. Now lateral rotate, heel beats inner thighs working. And rest. Okay, good job, you guys. All right, let's go ahead from here. Let's see. Let's do one last thing. 1 or 2 things. One or 2 more things. Okay, so we're going to come up to stand. And we're going to just take a moment to do this standing exercise. So you start with your hands on your hips. And you shift your weight so that you're grounded into one foot and come to the tip of the toe on the other foot. So right now I'm standing on my right leg and I'm going to lift my heel of my left foot. So I'm going to let my left hip, I'm going to imagine for a second that my pelvis is a bowl. And I'm going to lift my left hip. So my left hand will lift. I'm spilling water out of my pelvic bowl toward the side, like right now toward where Bob is standing, right? And then I lower my hip down. And then I hike my hip up and I lower down, right? So what's happening is the muscles on the side of your hip, right? So gluteus medius are the main muscles we're working right now. I think of them like 3-pronged kind of muscle, a little bit like the deltoids are kind of like a 3-pronged muscle. So working to hike that hip, and then we're also working to move down slowly, right? So the muscles on this side of the hip are working on the way up and on the way down. Let's do 2 more. And then we're going to come up and stay, and we'll drop down 1 inch. And we're going to do little hip hikes. We go lift and lift and lift and lift and lift and lift and lift. 8 more we have. Whoa, don't fall over though. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and pause. It's actually okay if you do fall over. We're in a controlled stress environment here. So the idea is that we're getting stronger, and we're going to go ahead and get ready for the second side. So shift, come to the tip of the toe and hike that hip up. Now we're hiking the right hip up, spilling water from the pelvic bowl toward, right now I have a window over there toward the window for me. And then hike it up. It's good to have landmarks around your room, right? So you can think of spilling toward the window. In my dance studies, I studied with the Jennifer Muller Company for years, many years. And in their studio, they have, like, you're either moving toward the kitchen or you're moving toward the windows. And so that the reference point in the room was, the kitchen and the windows. Let's do 2 more like this. Hike that hip way, way up. And then come down. And again, hike up. Now we're going to drop down 1 inch, and we go up and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 more. We have 8 and 7, 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and pause. Okay, so now we've worked the side body, the outer line of the legs, we worked the inner thighs a little bit earlier. Let's just take a moment and come down for just a couple of stretches to kind of release. So we're going to widen the feet, right? Use your hands behind you to work to lift upright in the pelvis. If you're a little tighter, you're gonna prop your tush up on some blankets maybe, so that's going to help you be more upright in the pelvis. Upright in the pelvis is goal number 1. Pushing with your hands. Right? If you're upright, all right, then you can reach your hands forward and let the body release forward too. You want to make sure that you're working the lift of the low back, and then you want to think of your pelvic bowl again. So as we're tilting, we're rotating to tilt the pelvic bowl to spill water toward the front, toward my front right now. Big breath in right here, and big breath out. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do a little stretch for the outer thigh. Let's go ahead and go for this one. Okay. So I like to think if I'm sitting on it, I'll even do this one. So if I'm on a tiny picnic blanket, this is my tiny picnic blanket. I just fold my yoga mat in half, okay? So I'm going to just kind of have myself like folded up on that space, okay? So legs stacked, knees folded, and I'm going to take my top foot, I'm going to bring my foot flat, okay? I'm going to come onto my forearm, kind of line my elbow up with my knee. So I came a little bit forward on this one. And then I'm going to take my top foot over the top of my thigh. Give my shin bone a hug, lengthen the spine, turn my collarbones to face toward the shin bone. And I'm going to try to close off the space between my torso and my shin bone. Notice my shin bone is pretty much up and down here, perpendicular to the floor. Now, if I need more stretch, if I work, right now it's my right side that is kind of, my right leg is up. If I work to stick my right tush out, it's again a tilt of the pelvis. It's going to turn up the volume on that stretch. As fussy as it is to come into this one, it's actually meant to be milder on the knees, right? So see if it feels okay, and you can give it a try if it feels like a good stretch. And let's gently release. I'll come to the other side. Tiny picnic blanket, right? And then we're going to go ahead and bring that foot up. I'm going to bring my elbow in line with my knee. So I'm a little bit moving forward toward this edge of my blanket here, and then bring the foot across the top of the thigh. Hug the shin bone, lift long through the torso, collarbones face your shin bones, and closing off that space, sticking my left tush out. It's really a tilt of the pelvis. Big breath in here, and big breath out. And again, a big breath in, and a big breath out. Okay. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. We just had a little bit more focus on the side body and the outer and inner thighs in our yoga practice, I teach yoga too, so I almost said yoga by mistake, in our Pilates practice. So hopefully I'll be bringing you guys some yoga at a certain point too, but at the moment we're gonna kind of just keep going with what we're going, all right? Hope you're well and having a great day. Hugs.